but he's doing really good. The only thing he was doing when we left, he was like trying to gag up all that phlegm in his throat. But he was talking to us and stuff, so he's doing really good.
Okay, thank you. I'll talk to you when we get a little closer to Adrian.
Is that like a walkie-talkie?
Yeah, it's a...
What is that?
Like I said, be careful. The roads are pretty bad out here.
It's not a regular phone.
Yeah.
It is?
Yeah, it's
with
a regular
the speaker?
phone. And then it's got a two-way, just like a walkie-talkie.
Two-way?
Yep.
What do they call that?
It's Nextel.
No kidding.
Yeah. You don't have them out there?
No. That's something I haven't seen.
Yeah. And you can change the mode to group talk if you want to get, 4 or 5 of your family members talking all at once.
Wow.
Then that's just a Nextel. Then you got the phone. You can just dial the phone.
It's amazing. Is that cheaper than a regular phone?
I think so.
Really?
Yeah.
That's how long it took to get the bags. That's how long it took. Well, he's got a red Chevy pickup, so can't miss it. So I'm waiting, and here we are at Metro Airport in Detroit. Wow. And you know what? It's a little bit on the chilly side. Kind of nice and cool. Yeah, kind of nice and cool. Wow, the I-94. The I-94. This is very nice. Is this your only vehicle, or do you have another car besides that?
I've got 2 other ones.
Really?
My wife has got a PT Cruiser.
Oh, really?
Yeah, black.
Did you pay full price for it?
Yeah.
Or pay a little extra?
I don't think we paid any extra for it, but yeah.
I love that car.
Yeah.
I saw that car long before it came out.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, at an auto show. Yeah, my business partner ordered one, but...
On the way back?
Yeah, we're on our way back. We're up by 275.
We're going to be up to Anderson 9 at 6. Start at 6, goes to 8. Me and Mom will already be up there, so we'll meet you up there, and you're going to help them straight there.
Okay. It'll probably be close to 6 o'clock before we get there.
Split near Flint. They're recommending the 475 as an alternate. The Southfield Freeway heavy departed airborne, no problems on the lines. Joel Alexander, Traffic Center 769.
23 North Ann Arbor. Been on that in a while.
Louis' son, are you headed up to pick up your daughter? Okay, I just want to let you know the road's getting pretty bad up here. I'm up by 23 right now.
that helps the Pacific Light family.
Okay, looks like once again we got lucky, just like we did in Alabama, and found some more digital videotape here at the old CVS pharmacy. Seems to have them. Maybe one of the few places without looking too hard in Adrian, Michigan that has DV tape, and there it is, CVS pharmacy. And believe it or not, right down here in this area at one time was the A&P store. I think A&P store was located about right here where the country market is, and this is where we used to shop. It's where all of Adrian used to shop, actually, down here at the A&P store. Long gone. A&P is long gone. I actually worked at the A&P though in Tecumseh with Roger Snyder, and boy oh boy, how would I find Roger Snyder? I don't know. Okay, continuing with Return to Adrian. Return to Adrian on the last day of January 2001. Okay, this is Maumee Street. Coming down Maumee Street, and there again over there used to be the A&P, CVS, just like the one in Alabama, where I was able to get some digital videotape. Coming around the famous intersection, we're going to go right up the street here. We're going to go right up Maumee Street, and yeah, Finnerty Appliance, that was a famous place, expensive, famous. My dad worked down there. He worked in a shop down there doing something. This was the Armory, the Adrian Armory. And let's see, we can get a window down here. Yes, we can. Okay, coming up to an intersection here of Winter Street and Maumee. The intersection of Winter Street and Maumee. And that was always a bank, as far as I remember, always a bank. Winter and Maumee. I believe the Western Auto store was across the street here. I believe that was the Western Auto. Then as a child, there were dime stores along here. They were called dime stores, and that's where I bought a lot of my Big Little books. Woolworths, I think, was one of the dime stores. And here we are coming right up to Chalner. We'll be going in Chalner shortly to check that place out. Haven't been in there since January '81. I remember when I took my last trip into Chalner's. Over here, that used to be Cunningham's. Cunningham's drugstore was there, and my mother liked to go in Cunningham's a lot. And as we go down the street here, we're at the intersection of Main and Maumee, but as we go down the street, we're going to go past the Croswell Theater. Now, the Croswell Theater showed more of the grown-up kind of movies. They showed the Tarzan movies, the musical films, the war movies. They also had 3D movies. I remember seeing Fort Ty down here at the Croswell Theater and seeing other movies in 3D. Saw Frankenstein down here, the live Frankenstein show that they would have from occasion. But yep, the Croswell Theater, there it is right there. Now the Croswell Opera House. Over here was Kresge's, SS Kresge, and this was our post office. This was the old post office, the original post office. And I want to go up here to the post office where I had my P.O. box when I had Savage Reports, Finders Keepers, and the Savage, called the Savage Cinema Corporation. I had a P.O. box right up here, and it was called P.O. Box 717. So I want to find out if they still have P.O. Box 717, see if that still exists. Across from the post office, a place I went a lot of times, the unemployment office. Yep, the unemployment office. And went there many times because working in a factory in Michigan, most of the time you spent not working. Most of the time you spent being laid off. So I went over there and drew a lot of unemployment checks. I did. So let's just go in the post office and find out if P.O. Box 717 is still here. We'll just pull in front of this guy here. 15-minute parking. 15 minutes is all we'll need. So let's stop right here, put the windows up on the car, and find out if P.O. Box 717 is still in existence. Hey, boy, everyone smokes around here. I'm just starting to notice that. I guess you can actually smoke in some of the restaurants, which is a little strange. You can't do that in LA too much. But stepping out the car and right across the street. Yep, spent many a day there, many an hour in line to get my unemployment check. And actually, I park here quite a few times too to come up to the post office. Looks like they got another entrance to the post office. Doesn't look like the same one, or it's a handicap access route to the post office. But coming down here is the main entrance where we used to come in and pick up our mail. Hi there, how you doing?
Pretty good, how are you?
Real good. Come down here and get my mail for P.O. Box 717. It's a huge drawer, and I'm real anxious to find out if it's still there. We won't know, of course, the answer to that until we go inside and find out. I know our hearts are pounding fast. Wouldn't it be funny if the box is still there, if they haven't changed things around? It looks like things may have been changed around. Yes, they have changed. No, they haven't. Well, it all depends if I can find it. Here's some of the boxes that were outside. And down here somewhere would be 717 if it's there. It was a drawer, and there it is. There it is. There's the original post office box. Get down here and take a quick shot. There it is, 717, P.O. Box 717, Adrian, Michigan 49221. That was the address for Donald G. Jackson, Finders Keepers, Popcorn, Savage Reports, and the early Savage Cinema Corporation. All the mail came here. Got a lot of magazines and a lot of correspondence right there at P.O. Box 717. Get down here and take another shot. And there it is. Hey, right now, box mail's available. P.O. Box 717. Incredible. Incredible. P.O. Box 717, Adrian, Michigan. The new way, this entrance wasn't here last time when I left in January. Got on the bus January 13th, 1981 to leave Adrian, Michigan and go to Los Angeles, California, where we went to work with Roger Corman making movies, and just wanted to stop off and see if indeed P.O. Box 717 was there. I should send a letter to somebody at P.O. Box 717 and see who comes back, who responds. Let's take one more shot of the post office. There it is. We're seeing it inside P.O. Box 717, Adrian, Michigan 49221. And back to my dad's Saturn. Started to say the rental car, but I think we did a little better this time. We've got a loaner car as opposed to a rental car. And yep, I think the only unemployment I ever drew was right over here, right over there. That was the unemployment office. Yep. The post office here after visiting drawer 717, seeing that it still exists. And we'll stop here in the corner of Locust and Maumee, Locust and Maumee Street. And we'll drive back down Maumee, show you some other interesting sights. Okay, let's do that now. It's amazing. Everything kind of seems the same. The attitude's the same. We saw Bill Miller there. Bill hasn't changed too much. Still sitting in the same chair. His food beside him, his Diet Root beer beside him, and his daughter at his side, running the shop. Running the shop. Okay, well, way back in 1967, when I got married, we lived at an apartment in a building right down there. And there was a gas station here. It was called, I think, a Clark gas station. And it's a one-way street, so we can't go there this time. So we're going to go through town and we'll come back around. It's now a family counseling agency, which is probably kind of appropriate. But that's where I first lived in 1967, and where we brought Marty home from the hospital. So here we go again, going back down the main street here. Over there was Kresge's. Here was the Croswell Theater, the famous Croswell Theater. Right there, Croswell Theater. And coming up, I don't know what these yellow lines are for, so I'll get that figured out. Let's stop here again at the main intersection. This is North Main and Maumee. North Main and Maumee. Almost thinking maybe I'll get the Chandler thing out of the way while I'm here. If I can pull around the corner, park in the right location, and we'll go in Chandler's. I think we should probably do that right now. So I don't know if you can turn right on a... Oh, we'll wait. No, we won't. We'll turn. Yeah, we're turning. Okay, what's the worst that could happen? All right, let's see if we can park right here. And I'll give you a little more history of Adrian, Michigan. Getting out of the car here. I probably parked here many times in the 60s, a lot in the 70s, a lot in the 70s. Probably parked right here and walk around the corner to go to Chandler's. Now this is new. This little cobblestone brick sidewalk. This wasn't here before. And I believe probably Cunningham's is long gone. But my mother and I used to go in Cunningham's, sit at the counter, have a grilled meat sandwich, a lime Ricky, and listen to music like the Happy Wander. I remember the Happy Wander was one of my favorite songs. And here it is, John. Let's just get a side view of it right there. Walk around and get a shot of the actual sign. Pretty tiny. And here I am. Wow, this looks like the original. Looks like the original popcorn machine. The prices are going up though. 50 cents, $1, $1.50, $2. Wow, we're going to walk in Chandler's. Haven't been in here in 20 years. Wooden floors. Popcorn machine. Mr. Chandler ran. Hi. I haven't been in here in 20 years. I'm just coming back in. I spent my childhood here in the 40s, the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, and up to 1981. Came in here and bought all my comic books.
Alright.
Are you the owner now?
Yep.
Are you really? How long have you had the store?
It'll be 6 years in October.
Really? Is the Turk Indian here still, or was that taken somewhere?
No, Turk is in the library.
The library, the historical museum?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. Are there any survivors from the Chandler family?
The boy.
Was that Bill?
Mm-hmm. He lives in Arizona.
He lives in Arizona. Are these the same original wooden floors?
Well, this is probably the same one.
Wow, is that the same popcorn machine?
Same popcorn machine.
That's incredible. Yeah, back here was all comic books at one time.
Yep, and Cliff Notes.
That's right, Cliff Notes. Were you familiar with the store before you bought it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow. No comic books now.
Oh, we have a few comic books.
You do?
Yeah.
This wall back here. This wall used to be all comic books. This is where I bought all the great comic books of the late 40s and the 50s. All the EC comics were here. All the magazine Enterprise comics like The Avenger and gosh, every great comic book published in the late 40s, the 50s, and 60s. There was a stand here along this wall. And this was all, used to be all comics. This was comics, and coming down here was more comics. There's the guy that sold me all my comic books in the 40s and 50s. Lighting a cigar. Wow, incredible. Let me tell you. Pardon me? I'm in California, Hollywood. I'm out there making movies, and my big Frogtown. It's going to be on television soon.
Oh, good.
It's called Frogtown. That fan, there's that ceiling that was so famous. Remember that very well. Chandler's, not every day you get to see this place.
I don't know, I didn't come here until 90.
Oh, really? I was here in the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s. Yes, I do. I had to move to California at the time to do it. Nowadays you can do it anywhere, but when I did it, you had to be in California.
What movies have you made?
On television here, you can find Hell Comes to Frogtown on the Sci-Fi Channel, Return to Frogtown, Rollerblade Warriors. There's a few things, a lot of direct-to-video. Can I get some popcorn from the official?
You can get some popcorn.
Popcorn from the folks.
What size? I have 50, $1, $1.50, 2, 5, and 9.
Let's take $1. Let's take $1 bag.
$1 bag?
Yeah. When I was very small, maybe 4 or 5 years old, a small bag was a nickel.
Not no more.
Hard to believe, huh?
I mean, our postage stamps have gone up to 34 cents.
Isn't that unbelievable? I remember when they were 3 cents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's already 56.
And the store is 126 years old.
126 years old. Wow, that's pretty good.
Oh, that's older than me.
126 years. And you know, I think I'll take a quarter pound of those just for old time's sake. Some the Redskin.
Redskin?
Yeah. Are those the original scoops?
Yep.
Wow.
Quarter pound?
Quarter pound, yeah. Get all the, oh wow. I gotta have a business card.
You have an extra business card so I can see who I'm watching on the
Do you have a computer?
On the Sci-Fi Channel, if the movies is going to be on the Sci-Fi.
Yeah, do you have a computer?
Yeah.
Okay. If you had a computer, you can look at my website.
No,
Yeah.
I haven't had a
I have a computer.
You do? I'll give you my card.
Okay.
It's not for you know, there's a picture of Mr. Chandler up there. You can see it too well. They're drawing. Okay, well, thanks again.
Thank you. You
All
have
right.
a good day.
Good seeing you there.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
I'll be looking for you on.
Frogtown.
Okay, when?
It's going to be out in April.
Yeah.
Now comes to Frogtown. Okay, thanks a lot.
Sci-Fi or?
Sci-Fi Channel. Okay. Well, we got that $1 bag of popcorn here. It used to be a nickel, now it's $1. But here we are. Chandler coming out. One of the oldest places. He said it's 120 years old. It's super convenient down there at the Historical Society. Hardly any comic books at all in there. And that was the main thing I used to buy was comics. Downward. Adrian, Michigan. Unbelievable. Across the street, I'm not sure where it was. You take a guess. It was Fondfellas. It was Fondfellas. And it was a ice cream soda place. And they actually mixed the Coke. They were called sarsaparillas. It was over there. I'm not sure which one of those buildings it was. If I had to guess, I'd say it's this one, 110. It's called the Adrian Insurance Agency. Pretty sure that's where Fondfellas was. And over here somewhere, down here, was the Palace restaurant. The Palace, I went in a lot with my mother and got grilled cheese sandwiches. Grilled cheese and potato chips. They didn't have a french fry machine. That was called the Palace and it's down on the street. Pretty amazing, but the popcorn tastes basically the same as it did. So that's the woman who bought Chandler's, and she cannot be making much of a living there. I don't know what she paid for the business. The business is 120 years old. I guess that Turk was out there in the, oh God, 1880s. But no comic books anymore. Everything's changed, but you saw the wall, the two walls were lined with comics at one time in the 40s and 50s. I bet you when the comics came out, they would have 200 new titles. Big, thick comics like Superman, DC Comics, World's Finest Comics that were over 100 pages for a dime. And some of the bigger comics were 15 cents. But wow, that's it. And the last time I was in there would have been January '81. I know I went in one last time before moving to California. Driving down the street, I can only guess, you know, where the palace was. It was along here somewhere. It might have been in this new building or along in here where things have changed drastically. The palace was down here. Look, books bought and sold. And I went in the palace a lot. Now down here was Miller's Ice Cream Parlor, where Maxine worked. And that's across the street, and that is long gone. Long gone. This was the old courthouse. Looks like it still is the courthouse. Here comes a PT Cruiser. There you go. All silver. And then we're going to go around the corner. And coming down here to Winter Street. Now on Winter Street, the A&P was here before it moved to down there by the CVS. The A&P was over here. What is now the Daily Telegram was the A&P right there in that same lot. The Daily Telegram was there. There was a cab company over here where we got a lot of taxis. And along in here, it's gone. But the original Eddie's hamburger stand was along in here. The original Eddie's hamburger stand. And we're going to go up here to the other Eddie's hamburger stand in one moment. Shift gears. Go over here to Eddie's hamburger stand. What once was Eddie's hamburger stand. I think it's right here. Yep, it is, because you could pull right up front of the place. We're going to take a look in the window of Eddie's Hamburgers, which is right there, was right there. Okay, this was Eddie's hamburger stand right here. And I don't know how you could pull back in the alley. I'm not sure if you could. I think you had to go in. You had to park and go in. But Eddie used to be right here in this window. You could park here and see Eddie standing there frying hamburgers. He made the best hamburgers and home fried potatoes. And boy, I came in here a lot, me and my dad, to get hamburgers, cheeseburgers, home fried potatoes. He was down the street. Originally, Eddie was down the street. And he moved here in the later years. The later years, Eddie was here. But this is Eddie's hamburger stand. Let's take a picture of the building. So we'll have that. Eddie's hamburger stand. This area here was the back of the dime stores. And it seems like I remember there were 2, possibly 3 dime stores. And that's where I used to buy the Big Little books. And I go in the back of the dime store, and right up here, it's gone. The building is gone. But this is the alley where Art's restaurant existed. And the famous meal at Art's was the hot beef sandwich with mashed potatoes and gravy. And it was made just the way they make it at Miller's right now. Probably the only place on earth where they cook the beef, get it real tender. The beef is shredded, put on white bread with mashed potatoes and gravy. And Art knew me so well. Well, he would see me coming in, and he'd get the hot beef sandwich, mashed potatoes, and gravy ready. And by the time I would sit down, he would have me a Coke and a hot beef sandwich and mashed potatoes and gravy. It started off, I remember they were 50 cents, and I think before Art closed, they got up to $1. $1 for a hot beef sandwich. And it was right here. Art's was right here. Don't know what this building is here, but this building's still here, whatever it is. And there's the alley. Look at those old buildings. Look at these old buildings. But Art's was right here. And I went in there many times for a hot roast beef sandwich, mashed potatoes and gravy at Art's. And when I wanted something faster to carry in my hand or to eat there, take home, I'd get a hamburger or cheeseburger over at Eddie's. And they had the best hamburgers and cheeseburgers, and believe it or not, the same quality still exists today at Miller's. For some reason, Miller's inherited. They were passed the torch for making hot beef sandwiches, which they only have on Tuesday nights. but they are delicious. And the hamburger cheeseburgers are fantastic, and they're just the way Eddie used to make them. We're going to try and see if we can find Eddie. My dad seems to think he is here in the nursing home, and if he is, maybe we can interview Eddie. Well, the weather's not too bad here today in Adrian, Michigan. It's a little cold, and there's patches of ice. No snow today, but all in all, it's a pretty good day here at Adrian for walking around doing what we're doing. Doing a little documentary and recap of Adrian, Michigan, the sights and sounds, the scenes, the places that shaped Donald G. Jackson. And of course, once again, here it is. This was Eddie's Hamburger Stand. Eddie's Hamburger Stand in the 50s and in the 60s. I don't know how long it lasted. I think up into the 70s, though. Eddie's Hamburger Stand. Okay, let's make another round here of Adrian, Michigan. Just left Eddie's Hamburger Stand where Eddie's used to be. And now we're turning and going past Graphics Unlimited. That's the print shop we visited this morning. Bill Miller is still there, sitting in the same chair. And of course over there is the library. And they say they've got the Turk statue in there, but it's only open 2 days and it's not going to be open while I'm here. So we might have to catch that the next time. This is the old YMCA, where the YMCA used to be. And as we turn onto Main Street here, we'll go past Seasons Dining, which was the family theater. That was the family theater where I saw all the movies, Lash LaRue, Whip Wilson, Durango Kid, Tim Holt. It goes on and on and on. Down in this alley, you can't go back there now, but that's where Arts was. Arts. Hot beef sandwiches, mashed potatoes, and gravy. And here's the intersection once again. And in there was Cunningham's. Across the street, yep, Challoner. C-H-A-L-O-N-E-R. Spelled Challoner. What a name, an interesting name. But just waiting right here. We're going to turn on the Maumee Street. So turning down Maumee Street now. Two-way street. Used to be a one-way street. And just taking another look at it. I believe Western Auto was over there. Western Auto store. And across the street over here was the Montgomery Ward store. And I actually remember buying a few things at Montgomery Ward. I think I bought some clothes there. Might have got a bicycle there, I'm not sure. But we're on the corner of Winter and Maumee. We're going to go down the road. This is now West Business District 223. And Eddie's Hamburger Stand down there on Winter. But originally it was down here. It was down there where Citizens Gas and Fuel is. Okay, going down the street now. There's the Armory. Now that's a famous building. That's been there for a long, long time. Finnerty is just a place where you go in and look at TVs. We sure couldn't afford to buy one. And I don't know what this is. I guess this is a turn lane. I guess one way to find out is to get here and turn. This is Amco station. That was always there though. Okay, so here's a one-way street. There's a park down there. Looks kind of interesting. The park. And we're going to come back up. We're on West Church Street. West Church Street, of course, where Graphic Films was. And we'll just drive by. Now, Jack Sanders, my old buddy Jack Sanders, Jack lived, when I met him, he lived right there in that red brick building. I'm not sure if that was the first apartment, but that was one of the places that Jack Sanders lived. He lived right there. And I used to go over to his house, and that's where we'd leave from to go to church. I believe to the Nazarene Church. Jack lived right there in downtown. So here we are sitting at the light again. Busy town, exciting town. As I drive around, I'm just so, it makes me so glad I moved to Los Angeles and got out of here. Wow. So I was here. I mean, I was born in Fremont, Mississippi in 1943. Then my parents came to Adrian. I lived with my grandparents in their house for a while. We're going to try and go by and see that house on Merrick Street. But 43, 44, 45. Born in Tremont, Mississippi, April 24th, 1943. I moved here as a baby to Adrian, Michigan, where my dad could get a job. My grandparents got employment. And so I would say probably around 46, 47 are my earliest memories of going to the family theater and seeing the movies. And we lived in a trailer at one time. And coming around the corner here now, this is not far from junior high school, where I went to junior high school. Now when we lived here with Janet and Marty, we still like to go to this place, which is called the Frosty Boy. And the Frosty Boy had the famous hot fudge puff. That's what we used to get there in the summertime. And then coming down here, when we got married and when Marty was born, this was the first place we lived, which was right there in that house. 117. Let's see if we can pull in here. We'll maybe get a quick shot of this place. I think we can do that pretty easy. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Yeah, it looks like it's now, it says family counseling. But this was the first apartment I had with Janet when we got married. And we used to look out that window at people getting gas. And 117, this was actually the entrance. There's a back entrance too. You can see there's an office there, but we went right through that door. And that was our apartment way back then. And this is actually where, when Marty came home from the hospital, this is where we brought her home. And that's where the family and relatives came to visit. And there's what the driveway is like. And it was like that back then too. Although, yeah, it was. We moved here in the wintertime. We sure did. February, as I recall. February 67, possibly. I think that was the date. But here again, one of the places that I lived, probably the first place, I think the first place I lived when we got married was here. Well, there's a part of history for you. Yeah, this was a gas station. This was the Clark gas station. And we lived right next door to it. And it was open all night, 24 hours. And all night long we'd hear people pulling across the gas pumps, which would make a little dinging noise when their tires went across the rubber hoses. I'll show you the back entrance here. Yep. That's where we went inside. We'd park in the back and go inside there. And there's the window. We used to look out the kitchen at people getting gas. That's the window where Janet's father, Ed Kelly, came to visit us with his new wife, who was a school teacher. She is a school teacher, and she wasn't a very likable person, as I recall. That's it. That's the early homestead. I'm going to try and find where we moved after that, if I can. Go down there and see if I can't take a look where we moved after we left here. The Big Boy. I used to go to the Big Boy. It was a drive-in Big Boy. See if you can still drive in. I think you can. Yeah. Went to the Big Boy a lot. I think it's the same. Looks like the same. The famous Big Boy, Adrian's Big Boy. It was expensive at the time, but they used to have drive-in speakers out here too. And it was just more. It was more expensive than the other. It was more expensive than the other places. And again, that's my favorite parking place. Would have been right back here. I'd back in once again, place my order at the speaker, and the girls would come out and deliver our cheeseburgers and French fries and onion rings. So I've got a lot of memories of the Big Boy. There's the old post office down there again. I'm going to try to remember where we moved when we left that place, and we moved to an upstairs apartment down here. I'm going to see if I can try and find the building, where it was. But it's not that hard to find. It's all coming back to me. It was Butler Street. We're coming up Butler Street here. I'm going to show you where we live. This is our second apartment. We lived upstairs. Right there, 157 East Butler. That's the house. 157 East Butler, and that was the main entrance, and we lived upstairs first on that side of the building. That's where we shot Space Station Waco with Janet, and then we moved over on the other side of the apartments. I think that's what we did, or we may have been on the left side first, and we were above the old lady downstairs, and she didn't like the noise. I think that was the problem. She didn't like the noise, and we moved over to the other side where we wouldn't bother anybody. So I'm going to jump out and get a quick shot of this place too. I think we can park right here for a minute. Yes, 157 East Butler. I think there was only one entrance, and it was the front entrance right here. And that's where we went in, right there. There's 157. That was the entrance. This was our second apartment for Donald, Janet, and a child known as Christine at the time, before she became Marty. But we were here, 157 East Butler. Yeah, they say you can't ever go home again, and boy, living at 157 East Butler Street, who would want to, huh? Yep, lived there in 1967, 1968, I believe. Then we moved over to a duplex. We're going to try and go by and find the duplex also. But let's leave Butler, go back onto Broad Street now. Maxine lived on Broad Street too. I could probably find the place if I went searching for it. Not too far down, but let's head back in towards Adrian. Man, 67, 68, that would have been a good time to have been in California making movies. That's when all those independent companies were up and going and functioning and making a lot of movies for the drive-ins. Let's see, I think we're going to go up here and turn. That's what we're going to do. Taking a tour of Adrian on the last day of January, 2001. Okay, right turn only. Boy, who am I to violate that, huh? Right turn only. Okay, there we go. Okay, and coming down. That was a store. Was it the IGA store? I'm not quite sure what the name of that one was, but we used to go shopping there a lot too. Let's move over here. Looks like we're going to be able to go straight. Yes, we are. Cruising Adrian. Looking forward to seeing Steve Walden tomorrow. I talked to him this morning on the phone. Evidently, he got the business card I stuck in his door and gave him Diana's number and told him to call there. We get together, and he did. He called. Today he's busy with his income tax. But tomorrow he's available, and tomorrow we will get together. Tomorrow with Steve Walden. Okay, love the truck. Let's see if we can pass him. Yes, we can. Again, going past Eddie's hamburger stand, and we're going to turn here at Graphic again. Graphic Unlimited Printing. This time we're going to go straight up the street. Go past the library, which is now the Lenawee County Historical Museum. That's where they've got the Turk Indian from Chandler's. And we're going to go up and go past Adrian High School, which was actually Adrian Junior High School, which is now Adrian Middle School. I think Dr. Gene Scott would say, "Am I boring you? Am I boring you?" Okay. Okay, coming up, there was the A&W root beer stand. That was Kresge's. And here, this was always the Board of Education or something. Now it's another historical building. But coming around the corner here, this is Drager Middle School. And this was known as Adrian Junior High School. This was Adrian Junior High School. When I went here, and actually had some friends who lived in this building right next to Adrian Junior High School. And there's that high wall I'm talking about that we used to jump down. And Here was St. Mary's. I believe this was St. Mary's. Now up here is the pool. This was the swimming pool area. There's where Tom Lovett lived. Tom Lovett. And I think his name was spelled just like Lyle Lovett. And there's his barn. Now we used to play out there. We played Captain Video. We played Space Cadet. We played, and there it is. That was the entrance to the swimming pool right here. This was the swimming pool where the boys' class swam naked. Yep, they did. The boys swim without a swimming suit right here at the old Drager Middle School. The Drager Middle School. And I had a friend to live here too. Don't remember his name, but look at that house, that old brick house. I definitely had a friend that lived there that he used to go see. Let's go around the corner here. We're going to find 415 Division Street, which is another place where I lived before we moved to French. Before we moved to French Street, I lived on Division Street. And there's when we'd walk up to the dairy store. That's the dairy store up there. Well, let's go down here, past the church. This was St. Mary's Church, kind of a scary place as a child. Kind of a scary place. This was Stevenson's lumber yard. Used to actually go over there and get lumber once in a while. Had a friend to live there. Don't remember his name, but I'm going to remember 415 Division Street because it was at 415 Division Street, which is right around the corner. And this is where I watched, where we got our first television set, and where I watched Captain Video, Tom Corbett's Space Cadet. Right there, right there. That's 415 Division Street. 415. We're probably going to park and get a shot of this one too. This is where when I met Jack Sanders. Actually, I can show you where I met Jack Sanders. I met Jack right around the corner. He was at a little grocery store down here where we used to buy and trade comic books. The store may be gone because I think it was right there. Where that? Right? No, it was right here. It was right here. This was the store. There was a store here, and you could buy and trade used comic books. Now I never knew what this brick building was. I never knew what it was. It looks kind of cool though, doesn't it? I don't know if it's a warehouse or what. I often used to wonder as a kid, what is that building? I never knew. I never knew. But right along here I met Jack Sanders one day at a store. Got to know Jack and found out Jack didn't live too far away from me. Then Jack started coming over to 415 Division Street because we had a television set. And he would come over and we would watch, after school, we'd watch Captain Video, we'd watch Space Patrol, Tom Corbett Space Cadet, Rod Brown Rocket Ranger, Howdy Doody, Captain Zero. There were a lot of shows on in the 50s. And I met Jack in 1955. We're at the corner of Michigan and Division Street, and that red light was always there. I remember the red light was always there. And this is 415 Division Street. Now I think I was here when I was 10 years old, I believe. I believe we were here in 1953 at 415 Division Street. This is the porch. Doesn't look like anything has been done to the porch. Looks like the original door. My mother and I used to go through that door a lot, and my dad. And we were a happy family. We're a happy family. We're a happy family. Me, Mom, and Dad at 415 Division Street, Adrian, Michigan. This was it. This is where I lived, where we had our first television set and watched Captain Video, Space Patrol, Tom Corbett Space Cadet, Rod Brown Rocket Ranger, Howdy Doody, The Ed Sullivan Show. This is where I saw Elvis on television inside this house in the 50s, and this is where Jack Sanders used to come over, and we would play. We had many adventures here, many adventures with me jumping off the porch and being Superman. 415 Division Street. Just walk around the back of the house a little bit here because I know I used to play in the back a lot. And we also, Jack reminded me yesterday, we used to play ice ball. Ice ball is basketball, but we would play in the snow. We had a little net set up there and we'd get tired of watching American Bandstand or something. American Bandstand would be over, and we'd come out back in the yard, right here in this yard, right there, and we had a little net set up, and we would play ice ball here at 415 Division Street. And I guess it looks like somebody lived upstairs, but not on the side of the house where we were. The side where we were, there was nobody else, just us. But on the big side here where the landlord lived, they did live upstairs. And that was always there. Stevenson's Lumberyard was always there. When I lived here, I think I lived here 51, 52, 53. That's my guess, because in 55, we moved over to 535 French Street. We're going to go by French Street again so you can see a little bit of the spatial relationships there. But okay, crossing the street. We're going to cross the street and get a better shot of 415 Division Street. And that store was right down there. It may be long gone, but there was a little store that sold pop, and you could trade comic books. They would actually let you go in there and trade comics. Give them your old ones for some other old ones, and I did that many, many times. And there is 415 Division Street right there, 415 Division Street. Where I lived in the early 50s, where we had our first television set, and where I watched all those great television shows, Tom Corbett's Space Cadet, Space Patrol, Captain Video, Howdy Doody, where I first saw Elvis on television, right here at 415 Division Street. Goodbye, saying goodbye to 415 Division Street, and we're going to go see where we moved after this, which was 535 French Street. Pulling away from 415 Division, we're going to turn here on Erie Street, E-R-I-E, St. Mary's Catholic Church. That was always kind of a scary place for me. Used to go in there once in a while and just look around. And we're coming right up here on Erie Street. We're going to turn and give you one more idea of spatial relationships. Oh my God, Superior Cleaners. Oh geez, oh God, Superior Cleaners. Can't believe it, it's still there. We got all of our cleaning done there at Superior Cleaners. Amazing. You know, my mom didn't call it Superior Cleaners, she called it Superior. Just go up to Superior Cleaners, just Superior Cleaners, and pick up your jacket. Now I had to leave your jacket off at Superior Cleaners. Yeah, it's just up there at Superior Cleaners. Now here was a scary spot. We actually used to go over there and play too. This looks like an abandoned cement factory or something, but we went in there. Used to go in there and play, and that was pretty interesting. The fence wasn't there, as I recall, and we used to go in there and play. I wonder what that is now. No way to know, I guess, but there again, there's Stevenson, and coming down here will be 415 Division Street, which is right there. We're gonna turn around and show you how to get to the dairy store when we left. How we went to the dairy store and how we came from the dairy store to 535 French Street. So there it is. We come out here a lot. Come out here, leave Division Street, walk or take my bike up here. And we go up here and go to the dairy store, and I think the way we went to the dairy store was here. We come down this way. The bridge is long gone. There's Superior Cleaners. Went there a lot, believe it or not. Hard to believe that place is still there. And we come up here and go to the dairy store. And this was the dairy store right here, and where we used to park. You can't do it right now. You used to be able to park right here, right beside it. Wow, that was it. The dairy store. It was called the J&M Dairy Store. And there's no parking here to the corner anymore. Okay, and this used to be a bridge. There was a bridge here, an overhead bridge. I understand that bridge was destroyed. And it was fun. The bridge was fun because there were stairs here too. I want to show you how we got to 535 French Street. I'd walk to the store. So we turn here on Treat Street, and come around down through here. And here is French Street. Here's French Street, turning onto French Street. These streets seem so narrow, but let's go by 535 French. We were here yesterday, actually. And our good neighbor, R.V. Williams, lived here at 531 French Street. And this is the house where, when Diana moved in with my dad, they were living here. But this is 535 French Street. Moved in here in 1955. I was 12 years old. When we went to Alabama, we went from this house. From this house's driveway. My room was upstairs, where I had my record player. My Harman Kardon was up there, and listened to all the Kingston Trio music. That was our porch, the icy driveway, and then back there was the garage where my dad had his alternator shop. And down here, as we come down, was Jefferson School, and that's where I went to school. I think only one grade though, maybe the 4th grade or 5th grade, because after that I had to move over to Garfield, and Garfield was a ways, and I think I'm going to show you exactly how far Garfield was. And there were several different ways to get to Garfield School. But this is French Street, and we're going to turn on to Beecher Street. Turning on to Beecher Street, we're going to go down to Garfield, which would be the last grade school I went to before going to Adrian Junior High School. And I lived at 535 French Street when I was going to Adrian Junior High School. Okay, this is Garfield School, and I went to Garfield, I believe, for the 6th grade, only the 6th grade. And my last year in grade school, then I went to junior high for 7th, 8th, and 9th. But I believe the 5th grade was over there at Jefferson, near 535 French Street, so that was the only time I had it convenient for school. It was like right down the corner. But this is Garfield School, the famous Garfield School. And as best I remember, I went to Garfield School with Jack Sanders, and I believe we had a lot of fun at the Garfield School. And Bob Wilkerson went here too. I used to get in fights with Bob Wilkerson on the way home from school, and what an adventure that used to be, the way home from school. Coming up through here, Garfield Elementary School. I wonder if I can zoom in and see that. Yeah, we can do it. There it is, Garfield Elementary School. Yep, that's where I went to my last year of grade school. Boy, I remember that alley there. But this was an adventure going home, let me tell you. This was an adventure. It all seemed so bigger then, but boy, coming up here, and a lot of times it was just like this. The weather was just like this going home from school, and I'd turn here and go up, and for some reason there was always an adventure at the railroad tracks. I don't know why that was, but this was always an exciting area right here. Right here. We'd stop and play here a lot because there's a little hill there. I think sometimes we had our sleds on that hill, but we'd always have little adventures right there along the railroad tracks. And usually the way I'd go home would be this way. I'd walk this way, walk up through here, when I'd go home from Garfield School. Look at that old brick house down there. But we walk along here, walking home from Garfield. And then when we get to this street, Division Street, I take a shortcut on Logan Street, which is here. Logan Street, and we'd walk down here and go past this interesting area, walking home from Garfield Elementary School. And I remember getting close to these silos. I'm not quite sure what they were, but they held some fascination for me, let me tell you. I think we went in there. I actually think we used to go, there was a way to get in the silos and see inside. I think they were empty at the time. And we come up through here. And once again, there was the Center Street Bridge. The Center Street Bridge is gone, but there was a bridge here, a big old wooden bridge, I guess, that burned down. But we cross the street here and go to 535 French Street. We're going to go by it one more time, which was here. There it is, 535 French Street. And there was Jefferson School, where Jack and I sung Down by the River for some tough Mexicans one day. the things you remember. I got to stop at a payphone and call Jack and see if today is lunch day or if it's going to be tomorrow. Tomorrow I've actually gotten set up to see Steve Walden. Go around the corner one more time so I can show you where my dad used to work at Jackson Iron and Metal. Stop right here. Well, there was a store there too, a grocery store that I used to go to a lot and get things. And there was a gas station here where I think I had a relative. There's that silver PT Cruiser. And going right back up the corner here. There it is. There's Jefferson School. And let's go back around the corner and we'll go past where Dad worked for many years on Treat Street at the scrapyard where he was a crane operator. I'll go by and show you that. Okay, we're passing French Street now and coming down Treat Street, past Tabor Street. I think Doug lived on Tabor Street. But there it is. There's Jackson Iron and Metal, coming up to Jackson Iron and Metal. That's the office of Jackson Iron and Metal, where my dad worked for many, many years when he was a crane operator. That's how he paid for that house at 535 French Street, working as a crane operator back there in the scrap yard. And that guy yesterday actually had the front plate. Now tomorrow when we see Steve Walden, Steve lives right here, and we're going to see him tomorrow. He lives at 603 Oak Street, and looks like there is Steve's car. Yep, Steve's car. Must be. Okay, coming back down. I'm going to show you Simplex, which was the first factory I worked in. It was really hard to get a job after high school. There were no jobs in 1961. And despite the fact I had some relatives working at Simplex, it was still hard to get in. But my grandfather, Grandfather Jackson, my grandmother recommended me, said I needed a job, and I eventually got hired at Simplex, I believe in 1962. But the first job I had was actually working for Jim Cooney. Now, this is where Bill Jenkins was. It was a gas station and a store. And it was a bar, restaurant, and a gas station, and they worked on cars, and it was a pretty famous place. Everybody knew Bill Jenkins. This was a place for a lot of fights on Saturday night, let me tell you. But right up here was Simplex Paper Company, and I worked here at Simplex. And also, now that I'm remembering this, across the street from Simplex used to be a trailer park. And I actually lived in this trailer park, and look, the trailer park is still here. Yep, I lived in this trailer park across the street from Simplex. Look at that. And I was very small, probably 4 or 5 years old. Yep, King's Mobile Homes. That's what it was called, King's Trailer Park. That's where I lived, in a trailer park across from Simplex. And you can see the trailer park is still there today. The trailer park. Isn't that special? Wow, it's a big trailer park too. Look how far back it goes. It goes on and on and on here. Big trailer park. Unbelievable. Go past the trailer park and I just want to come back and go into the lot of Simplex, which was the first factory I ever worked in. I think I started there. Got some big, had big wages back in those days. I believe it was $2.25 an hour. And this guy can figure out how to go past me. I don't think he can. Not everyone's as smart out here as they are in California, but you know, I think probably some people are even smarter. Okay, let's see, turn around here. Yeah, I'll do it the easy way. Ralph Poe, general contractor. I wonder where that Poe is, if I can find him. Is his name Ralph Poe? I think it was. Worked on the Demon Lover movie. But coming back up here, we're going to swing the camera around and look at the trailer park. A trailer park across from Simplex. And I think quite a few people lived at the trailer park and worked at Simplex. What a life that was, huh? There's some more trailer parks over here. Adrian Estates is called. But this is the one we lived in. This was King's Trailer Park. King Mobile Home. And we actually had a trailer there at one time. And across the street is Simplex Paper Company. We're going to pull in the lot at Simplex Paper Company. And then we'll go up the street and we'll take another look where my dad had his alternator business when he moved. At a guard shack. Certainly there's no guards today, but Simplex Paper Company, this was it. Oh shit, yeah, yes. Used to work here. This was the, right here was the time clock where I used to go in. When I come in on second shift, there's a guy coming out of it right now, employees, entrance. That's where we went in and punched in our time card and went to work at Simplex Paper Company. And back there is where I used to park and worked a lot in the pallet shop at Simplex. Simplex Paper Company. Boy, oh boy, what a thrill, what a treat. My first factory job, Simplex Paper Company. Come out of Simplex on Treat Street, and we're going to go right down here to where my dad had his bigger alternator shop where Diana worked, and where there's a semi-trailer that has 50 boxes, 50 Donald G. Jackson boxes are stored in this area. And there it is, right there. There's the area. We were by here yesterday, Lenawee Radiator Shop. We're just turning in the driveway here. And it's just amazing at all the, I think that gate was open yesterday. I don't know how to get in it today. But this guy's got a Toronado collection. For some reason, the guy just collects Toronados. He had a lot of them back here. And there's the gate. And inside that one that says, Pray for Peace. Inside that Pray for Peace one is 50 boxes of Donald G. Jackson things. And yeah, I guess there's a lock there. I think I got the key to that lock and all the other locks. So let's back up out of here. Here's my dad's mailbox. Louis Jackson Rebuilders. Louis Jackson Rebuilders. There's the building.